Now, this is a question I get a lot, and it pertains to intermittent fasting, dieting, nutrition, what I eat, and all those sorts of things. So we're going to dive straight into it. Now, I'm not going to necessarily go into the particular research studies. I'll reference some, but it's really coming from a place of experience and at what actually works and the real benefits of it. So the main benefit of intermittent fasting for me, or two main benefits for me, well, three. So number one, mental clarity, mental focus. Number two is you don't have to worry about cooking food, cleaning up food, wasting time preparing food, thinking about what food you're going to have, mental fatigue, decision fatigue. And number three, you get to eat bigger, more satiating, fulfilling meals that allows you to stay in a caloric deficit. And for many of us, we want to be shredded, we want to look good. So doing this will put you in the optimal position to get lean because you're having big meals that fill you up and not these little rabbit meals that are like that big, 300 calories each, but then you're starving when you finish the last bite. So the first thing, mental clarity. Now, this is essential. If you're a knowledge worker, if you're someone that uses their knowledge or uses their expertise that isn't physical labor, this is very, very important because you don't want to be, you know how they're like the lunchtime, what is it? The lunchtime crash or something? It's like, oh, I've got brain fog, I can't think. Past like 12 o'clock, I can't think anymore. My work rate's gone down the hill. With intermittent fasting, that doesn't happen. So I'll tell you what I do. Wake up usually between 6 a.m., 7 or 8 a.m. I'll have my first coffee an hour and a half into waking up, after I've done meditating, all that sort of stuff, after I've cleared my mind. Then I'll have which I've got one here. Tastes absolutely amazing. Don't put sweeteners in it, don't put butter in it, bulletproof coffee, don't put milk, none of that creamers, they're for pussies, don't do that shit. And then I have my second coffee, probably an hour and a half after my first coffee. And that's it for the caffeine because then you won't be able to sleep if you have more than that and it'll F you up. Then your tolerance, so with caffeine, it's very, very important. You become, with any drug, you build up a tolerance to it. The more you drink alcohol, the more you're gonna need to get drunk. The more you drink coffee, so if you go from 2 coffees, that does heaps for you. Then you go to 3, then you go to 4, then you go to 5. Stop that shit. Just stay at 2. Don't go any more than 2. Maybe 3 at an absolute push. But don't go further than that because it's not going to be very beneficial. There's a lot of detriments that come with that. Like high blood pressure, all that stuff. So the first benefit, mental focus. The second benefit, you don't have to worry about cooking food, worrying about preparing it. Like if I had breakfast, then a snack, then lunch, then a snack, then dinner, then a dessert, half my day would be cooking. Because I eat very healthy, you have to cook, and half my day would be cooking. I wouldn't get nearly as much shit as I get done. I wouldn't be able to research my interests and share it with you guys to better your lives and to better my life. I wouldn't be able to do the crucial and important things that I do on a day-to-day basis. It saves so much time. So this is what I'll do. After the 2 black coffees that I mentioned, I'll maybe have a black tea. I've just gotten onto that recently. They're quite good, but decaffeinated. So just for the taste, because I like a warm drink, helps satiate me and suppress the appetite. And then what I'll do is I'll have a biggish meal, like medium-sized meal, but primarily fats and protein to fill me up, and a little bit of carbs, because otherwise you sort of get, because you don't have carbs for so long, you get a bit angry and shit. It's weird. Anyway, so I'll have maybe 50 grams of rice, 100 grams of rice. Then I'll have 4 eggs, which is full of fats, good cholesterol. And then I'll either have a chicken, a beef, or some burgers in a bowl. That's maybe 6, 7, 800 calories, but that'll really hold me over. If I have that around 1 or 2 p.m, that'll hold me over till my big meal of the day, which is around 6 or 7 p.m. And that'll just be like heaps of beef, heaps of chicken, heaps of rice, berry smoothie, with yogurt, all this good stuff, maybe some protein ice cream as well, which we love. And that really helps me. And also with the mental focus, going back to that, when your body gets conditioned, so it knows, all right, I don't get to eat in the morning. That means it conditions yourself to work and not eat. But then when you eat, you're not working, in a sense, if that makes sense. Yeah, you can still work when you break and you fast, but you get a lot more done when you're fasting. Now, number 3, which I touched on, it keeps you full. When you're trying to get shredded, when you're trying to look good, you don't want to be having these little pissant meals because you're going to get hungry. With your appetite, you got to remember, carbs make you hungrier. If you're going to have carbs 6 times a day, you're going to get hungrier and hungrier and hungrier and hungrier and never feel really full. Whereas if you have that, that medium-sized meal that satiates you at around 1 or 2 p.m, and then you have your big meal 6, 7 p.m. at night, you're going to feel so full, even though you're eating the same calories and the same sorts of foods. So I hope this really cleared some stuff up when it comes to intermittent fasting. I know there's a lot of like boost growth hormone, boost this, boost that. The main benefits you need to realize is the 3 that I mentioned. Mental clarity, saving time. Because time's very important, must I add. Very important. If you're not putting your time into things that will pay you back later down the line, you're doing something wrong. And then number 3, you get to get shredded, not effortlessly. A lot of people like to say effortlessly. It's not effortlessly. It still takes a lot of effort, but it's a lot easier than worrying about your little pissant meals. And there's like some shit about breaking a fast, if black coffee breaks your fast, if Chewies break your fast, and all these things. Don't worry about that shit. That's stupid. If you're having, say you have 4 calories from Chewy or some BS, and you're breaking the fast, it's not about the actual fast. If you want the benefits from like the not consuming anything, then go for it. But I'm talking about the benefits of saving time, eating bigger meals, and more mental clarity. If you don't want those, if you want different benefits about growth hormone and this and that and this and that, go for it, go do it. But I'm talking about the real benefits that are going to add change and be real catalysts for change that will benefit you in the long run. Now, I hope this really sort of pulled it together so you understand why and how to do it. And also, I'm going to touch on how, because a lot of people get confused. Just wake up and don't eat for 4 to 6 hours. You don't need to be like, oh no, I'm eating in this eating window and I can't do this and I can't do that. Those guys are fucking idiots. Just wake up, don't eat for 4 to 6 hours into waking up. And then don't eat like an hour or 2 before bed, because that's important for sleep. You don't want to be digesting a big meal the whole time you're trying to sleep. It's just not optimal. So yeah, don't worry about, oh my god, I'm on the 16:8, I can't eat in this window or blah blah blah. Don't worry about that shit. Do what works for you. Fine tune it, optimize it to your personal lifestyle. Because yeah, the research is great, the theories are great, all this is great. But what we need to remember is we live in reality, not a theory-based world. Reality is king. If the perfect diet doesn't work for you, it's not the perfect diet, okay? So just remember that. Reality is king. Do what works for you, fine-tune it. If you don't like fasting, don't do it. If you can focus with a big meal in your stomach, do that. That's the importance of trial and error, doing what benefits you. If fasting didn't benefit me, I wouldn't do it, period. So make sure you find what works for you. I hope you boys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Mwah.